Yo, what is up, y'all? Welcome back to a brand new video here in CV. I happened to watch a Moist Critical video. It's a pretty old video, but it was him taking a personality test. I thought it was kind of interesting, and I was like, you know what? I don't think I've ever taken a personality test, and if I did, it was probably so long ago, I don't even remember. So I was thinking, how about I take that same personality test? Literally, we have it right here. I've heard it is pretty accurate, and it is free, right? Yeah, free personality test. Complete the test, view detailed results, unlock your potential. Okay, and this, all right, so yeah, we're definitely, so that first part, be yourself and answer honestly to find out your personality type. Let's definitely keep it truthful and direct, concise, and so we could get, you know, a good result, an accurate result, like they say at the end. So let's go. So first question, you regularly make new friends? Not really. I used to more back then, but now that I'm in college, I haven't really gone out of my way to make new friends. I meet new people, but making new friends, I've kind of had the same friends since pretty much high school, so nah. Complex and novel ideas excite you more than simple and straightforward ones? I mean, yes, not like it doesn't blow me out of the water, but I do like learning about interesting things because I don't know, yeah, like I do think it does excite me, but I'm not crazy about it, you know, like, you know, I'm simple with some things and maybe complex with others. You usually feel more persuaded by what resonates emotionally with you than by factual arguments. So it's pretty much just saying, like, am I just more convinced, I guess, by emotional or factual arguments? Well, I can be pretty emotional at times, but I try to remain factual and more logical. So I guess it depends. I'm gonna go straight in the middle. Your living and working spaces are clean and organized. Well, I do try to, so I mean, I'm not gonna show you guys right now. I have my phone set up, but I do try to keep my spaces clean. My room can sometimes look like a mess, but what I started doing with this new job that I'm working at, every time I pull up to the office, it be looking like a mess, and I'm always kind of like the one cleaning and organizing everything. So I guess yes, or at least I try to. So agree. You usually stay calm even under a lot of pressure. I'm definitely, you know, like, I'm not made of titanium, you know, I'm not just, you know, indestructible. Like, things do get to me, but I would do want to say that the majority of the time I can stay calm under pressure. Though pressure is very loose, it depends what type of pressure we're talking about. But majority of the time, yeah, I can stay calm. You find the idea of networking or promoting yourself to strangers very daunting. Like, I mean, the whole thing with this, like, this kind of reminds me of the little challenge that we had with this channel, which was that we didn't really want to promote the channel to other people. We kind of just wanted to let it grow naturally, which we know it's hard, but it's kind of just, so networking and promoting yourself is kind of different. Like, because I view promoting yourself as, like, you know, like marketing, like, hey guys, this is what I do, or follow my channel. But networking could be more like, you know, like you meet people and like you share ideas, and through that you get somewhere. But do I find that daunting? No, I don't, but it's not something that I do a lot. So I guess I'm gonna go with this disagree. Oh, next page. Let's see. We're 10% there. I mean, 10% completed. You prioritize and plan tasks effectively, often completing them well before the deadline. No, I am a chronic procrastinator. So, hard disagree. I mean, I do things like either the day that they're due, or maybe like I'll do it the next day and be like, oh shit, I forgot. But like, no, completing them well before the deadline, that's not me. That's a hard disagree. Unfortunately, I wish I was different in that aspect, but nah. people's stories and emotions speak louder to you than numbers or data? Look, numbers and data are important, they don't lie, but I feel like emotions and stories can move you sometimes a bit more than just analytics. Even though analytics are always going to be there and factual, but I think I'm going to go more with, yeah, so agree, but not a hard agree, a soft agree. So you like to use organizing tools like schedules and lists. Yes, like on my phone, I have a notes app, and I put pretty much like everything on my notes app, like to-do list, things that I want to buy, things that I gotta remind myself or somebody else. And I do have like my calendar that I use every now and then, but I do use it. And I actually do want to get like an actual physical calendar that I can put here in my room. So honestly, yeah, I feel like I kind of need to use those tools so I can stay on track with certain things. Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge. Um, Sometimes, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Even though, like, I'd be thinking to myself, like, oh, Jose, you got this, or whatever. But I'll be overthinking. Sometimes I be in my head a little too much. So I'm gonna go with not a super agree, but just normal. Yes, I agree. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation? Nah, not really. Sometimes, like, I could, like, just hit you with like if I'm at my job, right? Or maybe in school, I might hit somebody with a normal, hey, good morning, or like, oh, like if we're in class together, oh, do you have this reading? But the classic, like, oh, that girl's bad, I'm about to talk to her, or oh, that group of guys seems cool, I'm about to introduce myself. Nah, I kind of just let things come to me, or just let them happen naturally. So that's gonna be a disagree. Not very comfortable. You're not too interested in discussions about various interpretations of creative works. Um, am I not too interested in discussions? I mean, I don't usually engage in discussions about interpretations of creative works, but it's not that I will be against it. It depends on um the time, the mood, the people. Um, but for this specific prompt, I'd say disagree. Like, I'm open to talking about stuff like that. You prioritize facts over people's feelings when determining a course of action. So this one is a bit more it kind of connects to the other one about like facts and emotions, but when it comes to like a course of action, I'm definitely a more facts over feelings person. Like if it's like somebody ranting to me, trying to like, something about, oh, give me advice, this and that, um I might lean more towards like the emotional side of things, but you always got to balance things out, you know so but for this, right, like if we have a plan, like to like for a project at school or something that we gotta do at work, or let's say something for the channel, like I'm definitely gonna look more at the facts. And obviously we're gonna also take in consideration people's feelings, but I would prioritize the facts over the feelings. So agree. You often allow the day to unfold without any schedule at all. I mean, kind of, yeah. I don't really have a schedule. I do have sometimes in my head kind of like a rough idea of when I want to do something, but not really with a time constraint. Like, oh, by this time I'm doing this. So, honestly, yes, agree. You often, yeah. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet. I feel like I used to, but now I really don't care if I make a good impression. I mean, I try to make a good impression because they're very important, but I don't worry too much because, there's always going to be a million different versions of yourself in other people's minds. Like somebody might paint you as the villain, somebody might paint you as the hero, somebody might paint you as the confident cocky guy, somebody might paint you as the shy nerdy guy, you know and that could be like within the first impression or like after the first impression. So, don't really care. So, disagree. Middle, disagree. You enjoy participating in team-based activities. I do. I really like team stuff. It's very fun. Hard agree. You enjoy experimenting with new and untested approaches. That's also cool. I like to try like unorthodox stuff, though not all the time. I also kind of like to stick with just what works, regular basic stuff. I mean, we're talking general, right? But I'm gonna go soft agree. You prioritize being sensitive over being completely honest. Yes. I'm not gonna lie. I am very honest, but I'm also like a pretty, you know, like I try not to offend people. I try not to be too harsh on people, even though like, I might say the truth, but I do kind of prioritize being sensitive over being completely honest. Now, somebody like DJ might be the complete opposite. DJ is more like a no filter type dude, and I feel like maybe they run my fault more in the middle or more towards honesty. But yeah, you actively seek out new experiences and knowledge. Wait, you actively seek out new experiences and knowledge areas to explore. Not actively, but every now and then, so in the middle. You're prone to worrying about that. Wait. You are prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worse. I mean, who doesn't? Like, yes, I feel like that's pretty common, a lot of us worry about things getting worse in general, right? You enjoy solitary hobbies or activities more than group ones. This is another one that is just, it's depending on the mood. There's times where I really like my alone time, and there's times where I really like groups. But if I think about the ones that I enjoy the most, I feel like the times I've enjoyed myself the most when it comes to activities and hobbies has been in groups. So, do I enjoy solitary over groups? No, disagree. Wait, did I put that correctly? You enjoy solitary hobbies or activities? Okay, no, yeah, disagree. You cannot imagine yourself writing fictional stories for a living. I mean, for a living? Maybe for fun. You cannot imagine yourself writing fictional stories for a living. I mean, yeah, I agree. I cannot imagine myself doing that for a living. I mean, writing fictional stories would be cool, just not for a living. So I'm gonna put it here, okay? You favor efficiency in decisions, even if it means disregarding some emotional aspects. Again, right? When it comes to a decision, a plan, something that's important that we have to do, that's where I do put efficiency, facts, logic over emotions. So yes, you prefer to do your chores. You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax. I mean, I would like to do that, but honestly, I'd be relaxing a lot and then doing my chores. So, disagree. All right, almost halfway there. So, in disagreements, you prioritize proving your point over preserving the feelings of others. I feel like this is like a lose-lose. Because, like, sometimes you just gotta see the facts. Or accept the facts. Either say the facts or accept the facts that are being given to you, regardless of your feelings or somebody else's feelings. Like, logic doesn't care about how you feel. But I feel like proving your point is also like, because like a lot of people do that too. Like they rather just, like I just want to be right. Doesn't matter if what I'm saying is just nonsensical or just not about the original conversation, or if it's just straight up dumb or doesn't make sense or it's just subjective. I just want to be right. And I don't like that. Like I'm not just trying to be right. In disagreements, I'm trying to just understand what your point and get you to understand my point, not for you to agree, but just so we can have common ground. So in disagreements, you prioritize proving your point over preserving the feelings of others. I'm gonna go in the middle again because I don't want to attack you or offend you, but I also do want to let you know what I think. You usually wait for others to introduce themselves first at social gatherings. So this is something that like I actually started actively doing when I was younger. That was me. Like every time I would go somewhere, super quiet, super shy, wouldn't talk. I would do great when people approach me, and I've always been like pretty good with that. Like I'm good once you approach me and start a conversation. But then I realized when I got older that like a lot of people would wait for others to come to them first and to initiate conversation. But if you can be that one person, one of those few rare people that goes out of their way, even though it can be a little weird or cringe or awkward, to extend your hand, give a dude a handshake, or maybe fist bump somebody, or maybe say, hey, my name is Jose, or like, hey, like, are you in this class too, right? So I've tried doing that more. If I get to a social gathering and I just scope out people, I'm like, okay, introducing myself so I can kind of like just get it out the way. And it's also like it going back to the good impressions, it leaves a good impression, it kind of shows that like you're confident enough to go out of your way and be like, hey, what's up, to like a stranger. Do I usually wait? No, disagree. I usually do it first. Your mood can change very quickly. I want to say my mood is very stable, so no, I don't agree. You are not easily swayed by emotional arguments. I mean, not swayed, it can be compelling, but it won't like sway me that easily. So you're not easily swayed by emotional arguments. Okay, like cool, soft, agree. You often end up doing things at the last possible moment. If there was more circles for agree, like even a bigger circle for agree, I would press that because I literally always wait for the last possible moment to do anything. It's bad. It's bad. You enjoy debating ethical dilemmas. I don't enjoy debating ethical dilemmas. It's not something I enjoy, but I feel like I have in the past. Actually, no, I don't enjoy it. It's never fun to debate ethical dilemmas, but sometimes you just gotta have those type of conversations with certain people. Ooh, halfway there. You usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own. So this is the thing, like most of the time I would actually rather be on my own. But like I said in the other question, I've had the most fun with other people. So you take that as you will. But yeah, you usually prefer to be around others. I disagree. You become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. I mean, not well, okay. Sometimes it can get a little too theoretical. So, do I agree? Yes, I do become bored or lose interest, but not hard agree. Depends. So, here. When facts and feelings conflict, you usually find yourself following your heart. I want to say yeah. Now I know that for some questions I've put facts over feelings or feelings over hearts. It depends. Like, are we talking about me talking to somebody else, or like my own decisions, or something that's very important, or something that's just kind of laid back? Is it a story that's being told? It depends. But for this, me usually following my heart, yes. Not a hard yes, because I kind of like to balance things out. But usually I'll go like 60-40, 60% being hearts. So, boom. You find it challenging to maintain a consistent work or study schedule. Well, with work schedule, it's like, okay, you gotta clock in and clock out at a certain time. So, with that's kind of set. I can't work around that. But study schedule, yes. So I guess just for the study thing, yes, I do find it challenging to maintain consistency there. You rarely second guess the choices that you have made. Second guess. I mean, I try not to second guess too much so it doesn't fuck with my brain. So I would say most of the time, I don't second guess. I just boom. Because if I made a error or a mistake, I'll learn. So don't need to second guess too much. Just do what you gotta do, and then whatever happens, happens. Your friends would describe you as lively and outgoing. I think, yeah. Again, I did say, people are gonna have different perceptions of you, but thinking about my closest friends, they will probably describe me as lively and outgoing. So, boom. 60%. You are drawn to various forms of creative expression, such as writing. I mean, I'm not the best of writing. I don't love writing, but I do like creative expression. So, I'm gonna go with disagree. Not disagree. I meant disagree. The soft agree. You usually base your choices on objective facts rather than emotional impressions. Okay, so this is another one, right? My choices. So, I usually base them in facts rather? So my own choices. I feel like my own choices would have a bit more like emotional sway to them. Again, I'm just thinking about choices that I've made, and I think they would have a bit more of an emotional sway. So disagree, but not all the way to the right, because okay, boom, there. Yeah, I had to think about that because sometimes you're like, wait, is it agree, disagree? So yeah. You like to have a to-do list for each day. Wow, that was on the nail. Now, I don't do to-do lists for every single day, but I do update my to-do list pretty much every day. So I guess that's the same thing. You rarely feel insecure. Do I rarely feel insecure? Disagree. Now, insecurity, I feel like it's something that affects everybody at different levels, but I do feel insecure about certain things that don't have to be said. You avoid making phone calls. I mean, it depends. Like, if it's phone calls to fucking talking to the bank or the insurance or something medical, it's those are dreadful. Or the school. But if it's like a friend, so I guess it's in the middle. You enjoy exploring unfamiliar ideas and viewpoints. Yeah. Again, things that are new, unorthodox, or just unregular are enticing, but not at an extreme level. Just kind of to, just see different viewpoints and ideas, the prompt says. So, yeah. You can easily connect with people you have just met. I mean, I can easily vibe, but maybe not connect because again, I'm like water, in any container that you place me in, I can kind of just merge, So I've met different types of people here in Philly with different personalities, and I've been able to vibe, in different settings. So I've met different types of people, And I can vibe with most people, but connect, that's different. So I'm gonna go in the middle. If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible. Well, I guess, yeah, because I do like my plans, but I don't like, I guess, yeah, because whatever I have planned for the day is what I have planned for the day, but I don't mind, something being spontaneous or just out of nowhere. So, yeah, agree, kind of. You're still bothered by mistakes that made, you're still bothered by mistakes that you made a long time ago. Yes, that's like 100% true. I feel like that's something universal. Like a lot of us are still being bothered by shit that we did in the past. You are not too interested in discussing theories on what the world could look like in the future. You're not too interested? I mean, disagree. I could talk about shit like that. I'm saying maybe not like it's not something that's super exciting or enticing or, but I could talk about shit like that, so disagree. Your emotions control you more than you control them. Nah. Maybe more when I was like younger, but I feel like I'm more in control of my emotions. Not 100% of the time, but I feel like I can control my emotions more. I realized I did this wrong. This is why I gotta like, I've been kind of like double reading these prompts just to make sure I'm clicking the right thing. I meant to put this. Your emotions control you more than you control them. I disagree. Because no, I control my emotions more. When making decisions, you focus more on how the affected people might feel than on what it is most logical or efficient. Well, kind of disagree because again, I know I'm going back and forth. It doesn't look like it makes sense because for some arguments I'm saying yes, feelings, and for others I'm saying yes, logic. But it's just the way that these prompts are being like just written. For this one specifically, I'm thinking, well, I kind of disagree because if it's like a situation, kind of like a problem or conflict, whatever, I probably would focus more on logic and efficiency. So disagree. But you see, it's not a hard disagree. 80%. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. Oh my god, that felt hella personal. Yes. Yes. And just yes. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it would take them to feel disappointed in you. No, what? I'm not worried about that. Disagree. I'm not worried about if I'm gonna disappoint them. I mean, if I do end up disappointing them, that would suck, but you will love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. Most of the time alone? Nah. Sometime alone, yes, but most of the time, no. So, disagree. You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time. Look, this is one of those questions that people are gonna be like, oh my god, yes, it's a fucking waste of time. Agree, but I feel like life, has a lot of complexity to it, a lot of things that are fascinating, and kind of worth to ponder, because it can be fun to kind of play with different ideas and concepts. So I mean, you kind of already know where I'm going with this. Is it a waste of time? Disagree. I don't think, for me, I don't think it's a waste of time. I feel like it could be kind of fun. You feel more drawn to busy, bustling atmospheres than quiet, intimate places. Kind of disagree. Not a hard disagree, but I do like peace. So yeah. If a decision feels right to you, you often act on it without needing further proof? No. I need proof. I used to be kind of impulsive, but more recently now I'm like, okay, wait, this feels good, but I need proof. So I'm gonna go disagree. 90%, we're almost there. Oh crap. You often feel overwhelmed. Yes. I feel like so many things run through my mind at so many given moments during the day. So yeah. You complete things methodically without skipping over any steps. I do be skipping a step or two. If it's like, yeah, like in the to-do list or like a plan, depends. So, disagree. You prefer tasks that require you to come up with creative solutions rather than follow concrete steps. Yes, I like creative solutions. Though concrete steps are cool, but I like creative solutions. You're more likely to rely on emotional intuition than logical reasoning when making a choice. When making a choice. In the middle. I feel like they're both important. You struggle with deadlines. Yes, I struggle with deadlines. Yes, it's part of my fucking procrastination. So, you feel confident that things will work out for you. You're confident that things will work out for you? I mean, even though I do worry a lot, I do think things work out at the end. But that worry and feelings of being overwhelmed also kind of weigh me down. So it's kind of like a part of me is thinking like, oh, bro, it's all gonna be okay, don't worry. But it's also like worry and being overwhelmed and anxiety and overthinking is like clouding. So I guess in the middle. And your gender. And I'm gonna go with male. You thought I was gonna put this? Say that. Male. Alright, let's see my results. Finally. Your personality type is debater. Did not see this coming. Debater? Debater? Okay. I do get to say one thing. There's probably a couple of questions here that I answered wrong because of the way I was reading it. I probably put disagree when I meant agree. So, because I'm also like, I'm doing this test, but I'm also paying attention to the camera and talking to y'all. So, but debater, that's interesting. Well, oh, holy crap. Let's go back. Okay, we're here. What's the reasoning? Personality traits. Okay. Let's see what they say to see if they nailed it. As an ENTP debater, you are vibrant. You are a vibrant intellectual force, always ready to challenge ideas and push boundaries. Your quick wit and audacious spirit make you a natural provocateur. I don't know if that's how you say it. Thriving on the mental gymnastics of a good argument. You see the world as a playground of possibilities, where every conversation is an opportunity to explore new concepts and challenge the status quo. God damn it, I did it again. Your innovative mind is constantly buzzing with ideas, making connections that others might miss. You have an uncanny ability to see potential where others see problems, approaching challenges with enthusiasm and creativity. This makes you an invaluable asset in brainstorming sessions and think tanks, where your out-of-the-box thinking can lead to groundbreaking solutions. Personality traits. Okay, so some of those things I kind of agree with, like the approaching challenges with enthusiasm and creativity and like brainstorming. Okay, yeah, but being a natural provocateur or somebody that provokes like debating or conversations or arguments, like that doesn't sound a lot like me. But maybe I just don't know myself. It's like nah, I don't know. Personality traits. So I am okay, so this is good because I've told people that I kind of bounce between introverted and extroverted, but I'm slightly more extroverted, which sounds about right. I'm kind of in the middle with like intuitive and observant, but I'm a bit more intuitive. Actually, most of these are kind of like in the middle-ish. We got thinking and feeling. I'm 54% thinking. Okay, so that's another one. Okay, I agree with that. So this one's kind of high. So 64% prospecting instead of judging. Okay, yeah. That also kind of makes sense. And turbulent or assertive. I'm more turbulent. That one I don't know a lot. The first 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of sound about right. Oh, I didn't peep that. Once I'm hovering over it, it kind of gives me a bit more. So for extroverted, it says you likely get energized by social interaction and tend to openly express your enthusiasm and excitement. Yes, though I don't usually express my enthusiasm that much, but I do get energized by social interactions. For intuitive, you're likely very imaginative and open-minded, focusing on hidden meanings and distant possibilities. That also sounds about right. For thinking, you likely focus on objectivity and rationality, putting effectiveness above social harmony. Kinda. I like social harmony too. That one's kinda, know what I'm saying? Prospecting. You're likely very adaptable, easygoing, flexible, prioritizing spontaneity over stability. I don't know if I'm saying it right. That's another word that's fucking me up. Okay, that one also sounds kind of about right. And turbulent. You're likely self-conscious, sensitive to stress, success-driven, perfectionistic, and eager to improve. A lot of these are very true. Though I don't know about sensitive to stress, but the others sound pretty on point. So I just realized I think that this little like 2 paragraphs here continue down here. So let's see what this says. However, your love for the theoretical can sometimes overshadow the practical. While you excel at generating ideas and strategies, you may find yourself losing interest when it comes to the nitty-gritty of implementation. The mundane details of everyday life can feel stifling to your free-spirited nature, leading to a tendency to procrastinate on routine tasks or abandon projects once the initial excitement wears off. Holy crap, that out of everything that I've read, that was very spot on. That was very spot on. Damn, your charismatic nature and gift for debate. See, like, gift? Like, I don't even consider myself a good debater. I don't even debate. I guess this is saying, like, I could be, or like that I am, but I don't. But like in my day-to-day life, I try to think, and like I really don't be debating that much. Or honestly, I kind of just avoid verbal confrontation. Honestly, unless it's like in a friendly manner, or it's just kind of like hashing things out, but like in a cool way. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, your charismatic nature and gift for debate make you a compelling communicator, capable of rallying others around your vision. I mean, I do like communicating, so you got that. Yes, the same trait can sometimes come across as argumentative or insensitive if not tempered with emotional intelligence. Learning to balance your sharp intellect with empathy and tact is a key part of your personal growth journey, allowing you to harness your full potential as a visionary leader and innovator. This one almost sounded more like Dayron. Maybe Dayron is also a debater. I don't know. And let's just see my strengths. So let's see what I agree with and what I don't agree with. Me knowing myself and what I'm good at and what I'm bad at. Creative problem solving. Yes, I do agree with that as my strength. Persuasive communication. Kind of disagree. I feel like I have good communication in general. I don't know if I'm very persuasive though. Highly adaptable? Yes, do agree with that. Generating ideas? That's also yes. I do feel like that's also a strength. So for my weaknesses, seeking new challenges. Um, yeah, because it kind of describes it here. Routine tasks quickly lose your interest, potentially leading to procrastination. So, yeah, we know that's a weakness. Difficulty with follow through. Yes, big weakness. Big weakness. Direct communication style. What is meant by that? Your direct approach may sometimes ruffle feathers in the workplace. That's something that I feel like maybe at some point I answered the question wrong, because that kind of sounds the opposite of me. Like I will, like my communication will almost never ruffle feathers in the workplace. So disagree. Questioning authority. Your tendency to question established norms can create tension with authority figures. Um, Only like very rarely. Yes, but like rarely. So the only two that were like really like just you nailed it were seeking new challenges and difficult with follow through, or difficulty with follow through. Um, and yeah, and I might have to retake this test um by myself, maybe without the camera, and really focus on the questions. I'm not saying that I wasn't focused, but I probably could have focused a bit more. But anyway, I think I'm gonna leave it there. Actually, this is perfect for a comment, you know? If you guys want to comment down below what your personality type is, if you took this test, that would be super dope to see, you know, what type of people we got watching our channel, you know what I'm saying? But like always, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share this video with other people so they could also, you know, take their personality test, you know, go here to 16 personalities. I'll leave a link to this website down below so you guys can just go straight into it, do your personality test, and then leave us a comment to see, you know, what you guys got. But that's gonna be pretty much it for me right now. Appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.